Hello and welcome, dear learner. I am Dr. Telaram Meher, Assistant Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Odisha State Open University, Sambalpur. Today we are going to discuss on the topic content analysis. Because content analysis is one of the research area which is coming under the part of the media research. As you know that today video lecture we will be exploring the content analysis, a powerful research method used to study the communication through text, images, video and more. Whether you are a student, researcher or a media enthusiast, this session will be going to help you to analyze media content systematically and meaningfully. Then we are discuss about what is the learning objective of this video lessons. After watching this video, the learner will understand what is content analysis, the purpose and method of the content analysis, and advantages and limitation of the content analysis. As you know that content analysis, if we discuss about the introduction, means content analysis is a method used to carefully study the meaning, background and purpose of this message. It helps to understand what the person is going to say or what is the person is going to sending the message wants to say. This method is widely used by media researcher and social scientists because it is useful and powerful and most flexible medium for the content analysis. In 1952, a researcher called Bernard Burleson made content analysis more well known by writing a book on the content analysis in communication research. However, this method started getting scientific attention during the World War II. At the time, the US government asked the researcher named the Harold Leswell to lead the study and to understand the enemy propaganda. One of the important results of this content analysis study was a book called Language of Politics, published in the year 1940, which became an important work in the field of content analysis. After introduction, we know that we have to discuss about what is actually the meaning and definition of the content analysis. As you know that content means all the things included in the message or a writing, like the words, sentences or in a mail. Content analysis is a method used to study not just what is written or shown in a message, but also the meaning of purpose behind it. Instead of asking people the question like in interview or survey, content analysis is used to observation to understand the message. It can be used to study things like letter, diaries, newspaper, articles, song, story, advertisement on TV shows. According to the researcher like Weber, Holstein, Burleson and Neundorf, content analysis is a scientific method that helps us to understand message by looking at pattern and meaning is clear, organized and carefully way. According to the Weber, in the year 1985, it is a research methodology that utilizes set of procedure to make the valid influence from the text. This inference are about the senders of the message and the message itself or the audience of the message. According to the Holstein, in the year of 1968, he defined the content analysis is the technique for making inferences by systematically and objectively identifying the specified characteristics of the message. According to the Burleson, in the year of 1952, content analysis is a research technique for the objective, systematic and quantitative description of this content, the manifest of the content of the communications. Then, what is the purpose of the content analysis? According to the various researcher and the communication research scientists, they define the various purpose of the content analysis. Content analysis is mostly performed to achieve the following objective. The objective are to describe the nature and characteristics of the message, to analyze the writing style, to analyze the flow of information, to analyze the technique of the persuasion, to make the inferences about the cause of content, to infer the aspect of culture and cultural things, to provide legal evidence or intelligence, to make inferences about the effect of the content, to describe trends and pattern in the communications, to study the phenomenon such as socio-cultural changes, prejudice and discrimination, etc. These all are the purpose of the content analysis which is defined by the various communication researchers. Then what is the method of the content analysis? As you know, discuss about the more about the content analysis means the methods also coming. Like other research method, content analysis also start with the deciding what the study wants to find out or what the question is need to the answer. The next step is to find the sources where useful content can be collected, like document, files or messages. After collecting the material, the researcher plan how to study it by the choosing the best method and the what things called parameter to look for them. Then the researcher check if these chosen points are reliable and correct. After that, the content is carefully studied and analyzed without the bias. Finally, the result of the analysis are shared to help answer the research questions or meet the goal of the study or the research. Then, if you know that the step one, setting the research question or goals. The first step is setting the research question or goal. The first step in the content analysis is to decide what you want to find out. And this means asking a clear question or setting a goal for your study. Here are some example of the research question for different content analysis study are: how did different Odia newspaper report the cheat fund scam of Odisha? How has company public image changed over the time and how is this message shown in the media? What are the common feature found in best-selling newspaper or novels? How does the media report cases of harassment or discrimination against women at the workplaces? Does the owner of a media house affect how the report was about a political party or a leader? These are the means the first step is the setting the research question or goals. The second step is choosing what contents to be studied and collecting samples. In this step, the researcher decide what content to study. For example, if the goal is to study how the cheat fund scam was reported in Delhi Odia newspaper, the researcher will choose a few top or popular newspaper among the leading Odia newspaper of this Odisha. The researcher will and by using the purposive sampling, then they will collect all the newspaper issues from a specific time period. From this, they will pick only the news stories or articles related to the cheat fund scam. After that, to study the content, this may include news articles, editorials, special report, or group-based discussion or chosen point. This process must be clear and consistent. Two important tools help in this step is the code book, which clearly explain each category so anyone can understand and use it, and the coding form, which is a simple checklist version of the code book, help coder work faster and more accurately. Then we know that the third step is the analyzing the data for the content analysis. In this step, the content that has been collected is carefully studied using a process called coding. Before starting the coder, people who do not know the coding must understand the code book and coding form properly. Then comes initial coding where coders work on a small part of the data, usually about 10%, to check if they are doing it correctly. After that, initial reliability is tested to see how much the coder agree with each other. If 19% of their answer match, it means they are doing well. But if only 50% match, they may need more training on one of the key might need to be replaced. Some better method called Cohen's kappa is used to measure this agreement more accurately. Once the coding is going smoothly, final coding begins, and the researcher must keep an eye on the coders to avoid the mistakes like misunderstanding the content, losing the focus, getting tired or writing errors. After the coding is be done, the researcher check if the final reliability in the same way as before to make that the sure that the results are correct or not. For example, in a study of 100 news articles about the cheat fund scam in Odisha, in one newspaper it was found that 20% were hard news, 34% were the feature story, and 26% are the editorial, and remaining 20% are where the analysis or columns. Then we can discuss about what are actually the advantages of the content analysis. What is the benefit of the content analysis? Content analysis has many advantages. It helps the researcher to study a topic detail and understand it better. It is useful for studying sensitive issue without going out to the field or meeting people directly. It can handle large amount of information and also be study data from the different time period. This method is very helpful for finding trends or patterns over the time. If the information is available online or in digital form, the content analysis can also be cheaper, faster with the help of technology. If we discuss about the limitation of the content analysis, means we know that everything has also a limitation. If it has advantages, then also it may have a limitation. The content analysis also have some limitation. It needs a good understanding of the languages used in the content. It depends on already existing information, which means the researcher does not collect the new data directly. If the sources chosen are not reliable, the result may be wrong. This method cannot show cause and effect relationship between the things. It also takes a lot of time and effort to do the content analysis properly. Needed information is correctly not framed, then not freely available. It can be more expensive to get it. Then we know that in the summary, content analysis is step-by-step method. As you already discussed in this lecture, it is a step-by-step method to use to study understand the message in things like text, images, or audio or video. It helps to find out the pattern, themes, or meaning in the content to understand what the actual message is trying to say. The main goal is to look at the content fairly, carefully, either by counting how often something is done in two-way, qualitative or in the quantitative. This method is useful because it can study many types of communications and look at the past cultural messages, and it does not disturb any people, but it also has some problem, like the researchers may wrongly understand the content. It may miss the full context and take it a lot of time and effort to go through all the media. Thank you, learner, for watching this video. We can meet on the next video on the different topic. Thank you all.